right, good morning. Excuse me. Good morning. Welcome to day 5. Day 5 of the journey, I guess, to 20 payouts. Trading 6 accounts this morning. We're going to wait here for the open. It's going to happen here in the next 30 seconds. Take a quick look at the higher time frame. 15-minute chart. We're back up into a gap. We took out the lows from London. Pushed higher. We're in the middle of an inside bar right now, so that's kind of interesting. It's been consolidating for a while. Daily chart, or actually let's go 60-minute. The last hour candle was very indecisive, but it was green. So there's not a lot here that gives me much in the way of real bias. Been kind of grinding lower here the last couple of days. So let's wait and see what happens. We're going to take our same opening break trade. Excuse me. All right, let's see what we get. Let's get the ATM set up here. 3-minute break. I'm going to do 4 contracts. Well, let's see. What is the... Well, first we got to go to the 3-minute chart, huh? Good. Looks like this might be a little bit of a bigger range. I'm just going to go 4 contracts. And then let's go ahead and get the OCO set up. Need 4. All right, here we go. 1 minute, 27 seconds left until the 3-minute open range forms. We're just going to take a break out one side or the other. We are grinding up here. It looks like we have established a little bit of an upward trend that is holding. We'll see if that holds. The last kind of impulsive move we got up, that pushed up here, pulled back considerably. So we will see what happens. See this purple line up here? This is the close of yesterday. And then, where's our overnight open? Is it at the same spot? Okay, overnight open and yesterday's close are at the same spot. This gold line up here is prior day overnight open. Then of course we got the daily high way up here. So we shall see. We're in the middle of the kind of this big gap right here. And we're respecting kind of the midpoint of that gap, so that's kind of tentative. Yeah, you can see we wicked up there and pulled straight back down. All right, well, let's see what we get. The last 2 days of trading this strategy, we got the first breakout has been a fake, and then fake out. We get stopped out, and then the last 2 days it's been taking it on the other side. So it fakes out on one side, comes back to the other side, which in the case of the last couple days, been faking out to the upside and then pulling back. So the winning trade has been on the short side. We will see if that continues here. All right, we're in. Again, this is good. The midpoint of the range is below that candle's low for now, so we'll see where we get. If this goes all the way to the 100%, we'll be at 800 bucks. Let's see. You have the overnight open right here, which I don't like. Let's make this a little bigger, I guess. Makes me really kind of nervous right there. No? All right. Just fly through it. That works too. See if it can hold above it. 1 minute close here in 4 seconds. Close above it, so that's good. About to that 50% mark. Be nice to have a winning trade off of the first. There we go. There we go. Honestly, at $500, look at that 500 bucks and think, boy, maybe I should just take that. I mean, we're getting almost. I'm gonna be cautious. I am gonna move to break even. I don't want this thing to just rip straight down, and definitely don't want to take a loss after going. Normally, I would not move my stop until 75%, but we moved quite a bit up there. And after that impulsive move, and with the current market conditions, I don't really want to let it chop around too much. If we get out here, we can wait for a pullback to re-enter long if it feels like it's still going that way. Now on a regular NQ, it looks like we're already at yesterday's overnight open. That's where that 75% line was. If we get a push through here. Come on. The reason I'm thinking about this is we have that VWAP line right there. Getting a lot of hesitation right there. I'm gonna take it. We'll wait and see. It'll probably push up here just because. So I chickened out of that one a little bit early, but $500 is kind of my target on a daily basis. So once I see that number, I'm kind of inclined to take that number. That's not always the best strategy, but you can see it's still trying to work its way up. See if it gets there. We're watching this 100% level right here. I mean, so far in the last, this is day 5, so in the last 5 days of trading this strategy, it's had a 100% daily win rate. If we get stopped out on the first fake out, we take the next break and it works. That's what's been the last 2 days. And then 2 days before that, it just worked, and today it just worked. So I think I did take, if I recall, one of the other days that it just worked, I did take my profit at the 75% level. Again, because the range was so big, like going 75%, that was a big move. And so taking your profits is rarely a bad thing to do. If you have a reason to take it there. I mean, for me, I took it a little bit even before the 75%, but we've got a lot of resistance there. So I would rather lock in those profits than wait for it to meander back up to the 100%. If we get a pullback to the green line, might re-enter. We'll see what happens. I don't believe there's any real news today. At 10 o'clock, there's some kind of housing index, but it's a yellow folder, so I'm not gonna worry about that too much. All right, it's still pushing, still grinding. All right, there's yesterday's overnight open on MNQ. We already passed yesterday's overnight open on NQ. If it'll wick up there, that'd be really pretty cool. We're building out a little bit of a bull flag on the 1 minute chart. It's kind of a small one, so we'll see how that works out, but I mean, I would say on the 1 minute chart, if price holds up here, that's pretty bullish. Still needed to get to that 100% level, which is at what, about 823. So just above where the 15-minute open range's current high is. Now pulling back down. All right, so we had taken out the London low from right here. This would have been the London low. And now we took out the London high from right here quite dramatically. So really kind of curious about what's going to happen here. I think if we had a pretty strong move up here, pullback, consolidation, took out this prior low at open and then blasted higher. So I'm hoping either we completely fell this level and continue to drop for the day, or maybe it's just a slow grind back up. And we're getting these impulsive moves up. It's kind of like strong move up and then profit taking, bring back down, strong move up, profit taking as we kind of grind back down. Just wait and see what the market tells us to do here. All right, we never got to that 100% level. We got to the 75% though. So at least recently, that 75% level on bigger ranging days where the open range is a little bit bigger. I'm not sure what that's defined by, but you know, there's days where it's only 30 or 40 points and this one's 100 points. That 75% seems to be a high probability target, I think. I think we'll stick with that. Right back into that range. Well, if you heard that doorbell sound, I have a strategy running on another chart just as a test. So that's all that is. It doesn't mean anything. It's just letting me know something's happening on that side of the world there. All right, so consolidated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes in a row. Drop back down into this level. Really inverted that fair value gap. This is the initial fair value gap on the day on the 1 minute chart. I mean, I guess there's technically a tiny one right here, but I would say that inversion is pretty bearish. Let's see how this plays out. Doorbell again. That doorbell is basically an alert just saying that the line was touched here, so just telling me it's on the gold line. Trying to automate part of this strategy a little bit, and it's taking a lot of practice and a lot of testing. We also got an inversion on the 3 minute chart. Yeah, this is pretty bearish, I think. Yes, I do. All right, I'm gonna move my ATM strategy over here. So I'm ready if something presents itself. Our P&L this morning, pretty good. We're showing right around $670 in profit per account. And that's off the open range. Plus I took some pre-market trades here. Guess we can look at those real fast while we're waiting for something to set up. Text and marker. 3 pre-market trades. One little short scalp off a pullback, kind of the green line, blue line, short scalp. Tried it off the red line. This got way too wiggly, so I just got out early on this one for a small win, and then waited for this huge long pullback. And I was actually kind of trailing this one. So I had entered a short right here, and then price pushed down nicely, and I was hoping to see it kind of fell through here to take out this low. It never did, and ripped straight back up, but I had trailed my stop a little bit, so I think it got me out right in this area here. So just didn't have the follow through. I should have. Ordinarily I would. My instinct is just once we get a strong push down, just to take it. What I should just stick with that, because that tends to work. It's kind of what I did on this one. And if we don't get that kind of strong reaction, I'd like to get out, because that's what I'm looking for. Is I'm looking for a reaction. I don't really want to wait for it to play out. I want it to either happen or not. In this case, I was hoping for a little bit more, and this candle gave me some hope that I thought it was going to fail, and then for some reason in 2 candles it just rips the other way for what, 100 points or some crazy thing. 120 points straight up the other direction. So, you know, you can't predict those things. It's just kind of the way it goes. But those were the pre-market trades. Do I have another circle? So we're down to the red line on the 1 minute chart, but this looks pretty bearish to me. I mean, this was very, very small bear flag, and we're kind of setting up another one here. So I'm probably going to wait. If we break this low and come back for a retest, I would look at getting short. I don't want to get chopped up in here. Otherwise, this is a red line long. This is a relatively smooth pullback too, so we could get a little bit of a pullback up before it drops. If we do, I would be willing to go short again. If we got a nice kind of pull up here into the mid part of the 15-minute range, take a short out of the bottom of the 15-minute range would make sense to me. If you did take a bounce off of this red line, I wouldn't look for a pretty small profit target. But all right, I'm gonna go take a quick break. Give me a second, I'll be right back. All right, there we go. We dropped through the bottom there. That's what I was expecting. Another little bull flag failure. All right, so we took out the low. We broke through the bottom of the open range. See if I can get a little bit of a pullback here. We are bouncing off of this VWAP extension line there. Pretty bullish on on the 15-minute and the 5-minute. Massive wick on the top of this hourly candle right now. See if it gives us a pullback up. I would need a pullback, I think, up to this green line before I got too excited about anything. Of course, it may not do that. It may just keep dropping. Definitely can't take a short at the bottom though. That is rarely successful for me. And there it goes. Straight down. Low a day next. Down there at the 20s. I'm gonna clean this up a little bit. I need to take off my VWAP. I don't like having these price markers. On a visible auto scale. Where's the price marker? Maybe. Not on the plots, is it? No. Oh, right here. There we go. Oh, that reset my volume profile. Oh, that's annoying. All right, I'm gonna turn that off. I was just watching that just for fun, but I don't like, it doesn't start. You can see it doesn't start accumulating data until like I open the chart. I don't know if there's a way to go back and fill that out. You know, volume since session open or something like that. I don't know, but for now, if it reset, then that's not going to do me any good. Let's see, what are these other price markers? I'm just waiting here. I've got to have a little bit of a pullback. So, I mean, maybe it keeps dropping forever, but I can't get in until we have some kind of a pullback. Let's go back in here. Let's take price markers off of my current day, open, high, low. Looks like I also have a price marker on the 21 EMA. Take that off. What are these two lines here? Is that marking the quarters of the prior candle? Okay, let's go take that off. Oh my goodness. I do not need that. Candle quarters. Go. Yeah, we don't need price markers there. Thought I took the 21 EMA off. Did I take the price marker off of that? Do I have two 21 EMAs? Oh, I do. Oh, I have a 21 SMA and a 21 EMA. Interesting. What's the difference? Let's take a look at this for fun. Okay, I'm going to apply that. That's a lot higher. All right, I'm going to stick with a 21 EMA. So I'm actually going to remove that. Stick with this guy, but we're going to take off the price marker, and there we go. Okay, that's better. Now I can see prices. Much, much better. All right, we're struggling here at the low of day. Just a little bit of a bounce. Looking back at the chart, I like that. I like to see this. We have a cross of the EMAs, the 21 and the 9, and then here we have a pullback up into them, right up into kind of that gap. So that combined with the bear flag would be a pretty good. I think that would be pretty good reason to go short there. Just extra confirmation. Plus we have the bottom of the open range that we have the potential to break through, which is what happened. So anyway, just looking at clues that the market gave us so we can see them in real time next time. Strong downtrend right now. See if we get a little bit of a double bottom here and a bounce. Otherwise it'll just keep dropping. It's not enough of a pullback for me to risk getting in, because that last candle was a 34-point candle, so that's, you know, $70 per micro. 5 micros, you're looking at what, 350 bucks. I don't want to risk 350 bucks on possibility that flushes lower, but it very well could. Just have to wait and see what happens. Either a deeper pullback or a little double bottom for a bounce. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Stochastics are embedded down here. This gold line is just way below this line. So I'm not looking for any kind of a divergence off of the stochastic until the stochastic comes out into kind of no man's land here. If it pulled up, if it pulled out here and then came back down for a higher low, that could be a stochastic divergence, but until then we are very much downtrending. So there it goes. The flush continues. Hourly candle about to close here in 20 seconds. We got 10 o'clock. Do we have a 10 o'clock reversal in our future? Not so sure. Well, it's got some energy right there. We took out just now, we took out kind of an hourly wick back from what, February 6th, I think. But we still have some lows there that could be targets. See if we can get a pullback. Come on, just back to the green line somewhere. Some 2 or 3 candle pullback here with the reaction would be really, really good. I mean, there's a little bit of a divergence-ish look here. I just don't like that the stochastic is embedded. That higher low on the stochastic was kind of closer to that bottom 20% line right there. That would be a better signal. All right, so do we have a reversal off the bottom? All right, we inverted this fair value gap. Yeah, 50-point candle. I'm going to reduce my risk here to maybe 3 micros. Okay, this is the open of a new hourly candle here. So if we pull up here, get a little pullback, and then start to push back down, maybe we get some follow through from the prior hourly candle. Very bullish momentum. All right, I think this might be okay. Let me give this a try. There's 3 contracts. So hopefully either this does not tick us in and continues to pull back, which would actually be probably better. Getting some hesitation trying to push higher. That's a good sign. We have kind of the green line, and we have this VWAP extension line there. Standard deviation line, I guess. I need to move my camera. Let me move it over. I don't know if it will. Nope, I have it locked down too tight. I'm gonna try and get myself centered there. That's all right. All right, we pushed up into this next gap. Stochastic is getting up into overbought territory, which is a good thing for shorts. So I'm a nice long bull flag here. I prefer to see kind of a wick up here before it came back down. There we go. Maybe that's it. See if this holds. It's the wick that I like to see. Let's see, 26-point candle on that last candle. So that's $150 a risk, $160, something like that, on 3 micros. Could probably go more. Let's go to 4. As long as we hold below this. If we close above that, then I'll probably just wait. I don't want to get, you know, I don't want to get faked into something here. Got some hesitation there. See if we can come back down. There we go. All right, push down for me. There we go. Quick scalps. That's what we like. All day long. All day long. All right. So that, I think, was a 25-point target that I had just built into my TM strategy. Yep. So we entered at 545. We covered at 519.75. And honestly, it could continue to push down from here, right? I think, I mean, that's definitely confirmation of the break of a bull flag on the 1-minute chart. So we closed below it, so we could very well get continuation. Let's wait and see. I just realized you can only see 5 of the accounts on my little screen here. There we go. There's the 6th account. Not trying to hide anything. Yeah, see, so on this trade, if I had moved my stop to break even, I would have got stopped out on this candle wick right here. So my trading style, I'm just better off taking profits. I don't trail trades very well at all. I just don't, I don't have the patience for this to be up into profit that much and keep my stop loss behind that entry candle, which is what you would really have to do, right? Because of this, even though oftentimes it works out just fine. Come back up and, you know, now we're getting another push down. I think if we break through this, we probably get a flush back down to the low of day. If we can get a break below this candle here. May not happen though. The candle I'm looking at is this guy right here. If we break below that, curious to see if it flushes. Let's see. If it doesn't, and if we hold this area, then we probably start to just grind higher. Definitely an area of battle. Indecision. We test it back up into this gap. Still doesn't know what it wants to do. All right, there's the break below that candle. See if we get a flush down to the lows now. Well, no flush yet. Bounce straight back up. This is a tough area. We have no divergence. all we have now is we're holding the green line short. I mean, we are holding that, so, you know, until we break higher, we're still, I think we're still short, but definitely some indecision, choppiness, 50-point moves back and forth. Wait till it picks a direction here before try anything, I think. Oh, these areas are just boring. This is where you have to sit on your hands, otherwise you'll end up very uncomfortable at some point, even if it goes in your favor. Gotta wait for it to break out of the bottom or come back up, and right now it's doing neither. I guess maybe that last push off the bottom was from over here at 10 o'clock. We did have some news come out, so maybe that's what kind of gave it a little jolt. NQ and ES look virtually identical on the 5-minute chart, so not much by the way of clues coming from the ES side of the world. Just had an open of a new 5-minute candle. I will say the 5-minute candle on NQ is a little more indecisive than on ES. Here's a bounce back up. So we didn't yet have enough energy to come out and take out the lows. We have a huge top wick on the last 15-minute candle, which we're filling now. All right, well, that's a very strong green candle. 55 points straight back up. I don't know, this might be the bottom. We do have a little bit of a double bottom here. There's no divergence confirmation for that, but that's what we've got so far. We're 18 minutes into the hourly candle, which has been straight back up since the bottom here, basically. I don't like taking a short off the gold line here because we did not come from a lower low. I'm probably going to wait this one out. Looks like we could be getting across to the 921, so we'll see what happens there. Another strong push up. That's pulling the 9 and 21 EMAs across each other there. We've cleared this prior high. Yeesh, another strong move up there into the 15-minute range. And we inverted this gap, so no, this is all, I think we, oh no, we didn't yet. Take it back, we didn't quite get there. Didn't quite get there. So if we break up here, We've got highs, and back up to this initial gap up here. So I think this is pretty bullish if we push, if this candle closes above this gap. It's a pretty strong inversion. I don't know if I'd take it right away though. I still like to wait for my pullbacks, which means I miss out on a lot of stuff, as you can see. But geez, look at the stochastic. It's almost as high as it can get up there. All right, I'm now looking long with the green line, that the 9 EMA is kind of my target for a pullback here. If we can pull back into this, I'd look at a potential long. We did stop right at VWAP, which is interesting. Okay, and straight back down. I mean, it wouldn't be unrealistic to look for a short off of this red line here for a little scalp, but yep, and that would have been the target hit on that one. .30 bounce so far off of that red line there. All right, we're back into the green line. So if we can get a little wick off of here, if we were to get a little wick off of here, I might try a long. Or it's just going to break straight back down. We'll see. Better get an order up here ready to go anyway. See what happens here. It would be ideal to get a wick back down into this first gap that was created here. Especially if we get a close below this candle's high, which looks like we may. Keep watching this guy. Well, it looks like a rejection off of VWAP was the play there. Definitely got that reaction. Coming so far 90 points down off of VWAP. Hasn't quite got into that gap. I think that's really interesting. I mean, the low of this candle is what, 548 and a quarter. This one's 548 and a quarter. So exact same. These two candles have the exact same stopping point. Looks like it wants to dip down there though. Okay, and this is the moment of truth. If we get a reaction here, I would still take a long. If it holds down into this area though, we'll wait. We'll wait. This was kind of the deeper. If this continues short, I'm gonna look back and say, well, this was the deeper pullback that I should have been looking for to go short, right? Now it looks like we might be getting across to the short side. Which would invalidate a long here. Let's see. I mean, at this point in the day, I'm okay sitting and waiting. I'm already well into profit on the session, so there's no reason to risk that. If it was a little quicker, that would have been my entry. So see if it would have paid or if I would have been disappointed. I'm kind of not loving it. When you get we got 4 red bars and then we got an indecision candle. It's like, eh. Probably more likely we get a little bit of a pullback and a continuation lower. We're about to set up a short cross over here, so I'm gonna bail on that idea. Just waiting for all of the stars to align, which means you're gonna miss out on some of them. I mean, in retrospect, all the stars are aligning here. You got red line and VWAP, so you got 2 levels that we hit here. We have kind of confirmation that we're in this overbought area on the stochastic, which means it could want to come down from there. So we'll make a note of that in the memory banks. All right, we have a big top wick on the current 15-minute candle, as you can imagine. Hourly candle, it looks like that one's come back down too. Let's jump over to there. So this is the hourly chart. Hourly candle, current hourly candle, halfway through its formation is still green, but we have a small bottom wick and a big top wick, so definitely some indecision kind of going on there. 15-minute, we had a strong push down. You can tell we came back up. We retested this kind of breakaway gap here, and got 2 minutes left on it, but it's not looking super clear. All right, we got a short cross on those, on the 9 and 21. Now we're back up there retesting it. So what do we think? Do we keep going down, or is it just consolidating right here? I hate these areas because there's just too much going on, right? It's kind of a high volume area, so we're gonna push out of here at some point. Does it go up or does it go down? Right now, I mean, my bias would be short, except for the fact that we're also oversold on the stochastic, which means, you know, it may not go down. Uncertainty abounds right now. Yeah, this though, if this kind of broke through this bottom, I might jump in and go short. See if we do push back down towards the bottom here. Okay, I'm just gonna jump in. Hope this isn't like a super bad decision. I'm in 5 micros. I don't want this thing to rip back up on me. Getting a little A little bouncy. I don't like the bouncy. Didn't even push down. Didn't take out that bottom. Stopped out. Yeah. Quick stop out on that one. I didn't want to risk much. $170, I think, is what I saw. When this candle came literally, what, one tick lower than this prior candle over here? So we had 508.75, we had 507, yeah. So literally one tick lower. Oh, there it goes. Should have been a little more patient with my stop loss. Should have been a little more patient. Where did that? So just out of curiosity. So I got, well, I could do this. Let's do this. So I got stopped out at 19 and set 0.75. This candle went to 43. Doesn't make sense. Oh no, that was my entry. My stop was at 35. And it went to 43. So it did come up another like 5 points. 8 points from my stop loss there. And it did come down. So the idea worked. My trade management didn't work, but the idea worked. Right? This candle body closed below the prior candle body, kind of breaking this trend. And then we got a little pullback, and then momentum started to shift down, and that's when I jumped in. Problem was I couldn't quite ride the wave out there. It stopped me out before it came down. I think my target would have been, well, my target was 25 points and it went 35, so would have hit the target. That's okay. I got about 30 minutes left on my session this morning. Gave back a little profits, still up $700 on the session. So that's good. The bad thing is, should have mentioned this at the beginning, if you've watched this daily, you'll notice my balances may not make sense compared to where I left off before, and that's because I did trade yesterday. And I actually had kind of a bad losing day. I ended up yesterday down about $1,300. Which was stupid. I got stopped out 3 or 4 times trying to catch a move, which did eventually happen, but price was just moving so slowly that I managed it horribly and paid the price. So it's really interesting because Apex counts Monday, Tuesday as one trading day. So if I go into my Apex dashboard, it still shows my current balance as what it was at the end of the day on Friday. But Tradeovate resets it in the morning, and so when I came back in this morning, my P&L was set at 0. So what you see now is my trading as of this morning, but really I'm coming from I don't even remember what it was exactly. It was $1,300 in the red, and so I've made back half-ish of what I lost yesterday. So in Apex world, I think I'm still down $700 or something on the day. So, which honestly I'm okay with. If I make up half of it today and the other half tomorrow, that's fine. It's fine on the profit side. It's not fine on the loss side. I shouldn't have lost that much. That was kind of dumb. And I was really just bored more than anything, sitting around with nothing to do. And so I was sitting in front of my charts, which bored trading is not Not great. Not great. All right, so here we are. We took out the low of day again. So is it going to try to go lower, or do we get a bounce? Let's look over here. Let's go to this chart. Let's look at the 15-minute chart. I just want to get a sense of... There we go. Okay, so we looked at kind of these levels. We have a wick here. We have a wick here. And I would note this guy here as well. And this guy here. So these are kind of levels I would expect to see some kind of a reaction based on the 15-minute chart. So now let's run back over here to the 1 minute. Yeah, you can see we've been resting at this level. Okay, we came back up for a retest of that green line. That's a pretty strong reaction there. We get a little bit of a smaller candle. I might try another short here, because we either get a short and continue down, or we probably pop back up. So I guess as long as it doesn't fake me out on the way back up, that's okay. It's also interesting, we basically move between these VWAP lines, right? From here to this one, we settled on this one and then dropped down to the lower one here. These are VWAP standard deviations. So this is VWAP, and then standard deviations are this line here, and then this line here. Should probably color them differently or something. This line looks a lot like the gold line, which can be kind of confusing. All right, so we have an inside bar. So if it fails that would be good for shorts, but it may just keep going up. All right, we're liking this so far. I like that this wick came up here and we got a reaction. I would have liked to get in, not quite so far down this candle, but gotta move my stop loss back a little bit, I think. Target at the low of day again. I'm gonna move it down a little bit, see if we get a little more out of it. Which means I'll probably trail my stop and end up not making as much, but let's see what we can do here. I mean, if it breaks through here, it should. Or at double bottoms. Come on. This isn't looking good. Not looking good. I don't like that wick. Hold down there, you. Hold down there. Turn around. Turn around. Oh, don't come straight back up. That would be very disappointing. Yeah, that's a very indecisive candle there. See if it gives a little bit of a push. Move my stop down so it gives a little room above that candle, but I don't want to give it too much. So we bounced off of here 3 times. So if it fails, we'll get a flush. If it doesn't, it's just going to rip right back up there, and don't really want that. In fact, $14 left. Yeah, I'm gonna move to break even, which is probably means I'm gonna stop down for break even, but I do not want this thing to rip up the other way on me. I'm not willing to give back anything, even if it means I miss out on some profits. Protect my downside. Yeah, there it goes. All right. So we didn't flush the bottom, so that's okay. So out of curiosity, how far did it go? We went 19 points, so didn't even quite get my 25 that I would have been looking for, so that's okay. And there it did. It ripped straight back up, so it's kind of what I expected. See, now we have, well, we don't have a divergence, so we have a low here. This is a higher low, but that matches the stochastic, so no divergence there. Would have been way better if it wicked down here. If it had wicked down here and created a lower low on the chart and then a higher low here, I would have taken that long, but or I would have bailed in profit on that last trade. Oh goodness. All right, and straight back down. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm gonna take these. I gotta take these entry markers off my chart. They're distracting me. We'll put them back on later, but for now, they're in the way. All right. No, that was a nice reaction there. I'm tempted to basically get back in the short. This is probably stupid. Actually, this is stupid. Hold on. Oh. Oh yeah, not yet. Wait. I don't like this as an inside bar and it wicked below it and pulled up. I don't like that. I don't like that. Pull down. Oh, a little more. Come on. Pull down a little bit. Yeah, that was dumb. See, whenever I just kind of jump into things, because I looked at that and said, well, we came up here and immediately came down. The problem is we came down without testing higher first. And that created an inside bar, and then we wicked below it and then pulled straight back up, which is not a good sign if you're trying to go short. You don't want to see a break of that inside bar on your direction and immediately rush the other way, because that's usually a bad sign. So too fast. Man, we're giving our profits back. Now we're down to 437. So we got about 15 minutes left in the session. So I got to sit on my hands and wait. These are the areas that I usually get chopped up in because it's consolidating, and I can make a case for it to go short. I can make a case for it to go long, and whichever way, I usually end up with lower confidence in whichever direction I decide on. And so then when I get into something, I don't sit through the chop and I end up getting stopped out, even if it works out. So the best trades are the ones where we wait for a nice pullback and then you get in on a continuation. This was actually the trade that I missed. I kind of got psyched out of this because we're breaking all these fair value gaps on the way up, but boy, it held that red line, it held that VWAP perfectly and just flushed all the way back down to the low of day. So I mean, that was, you know, if there was one trade, it's like, man, I missed a good trade. That was the trade. I think every other trade I took, with the exception of these last two, was pretty decent. Now I might try a re-entry up here if we get a reaction off the gold line. Confirmed by stochastic being overbought. We'll see. I mean, it kind of seems like it's playing down at this bottom level. I don't know. Don't know what it wants to do quite yet. Because we keep kind of taking out the low, pulling back, taking out the low, pulling back. So there's not a lot of momentum in that direction, but it keeps going back there. So let's see what this does here. Of course, now we're getting another EMA cross. So that's a gold line. We're overbought. I don't know, we're just not overextended enough off these EMAs. I think we're at the gold line, but we're also right at the green line and the blue line, so I think it's a lower probability entry off the gold line. Even if it does come down, it may not come down too far. The last 15-minute candle that just closed was a red bar, but it had a long bottom wick on it, and it wasn't a very decisive red bar, so we may very well get a push up. There's a cross of the EMAs. Let's see what happens. See what happens. There we go. All right, so we did come off the bottom right there. Straight back up. Straight back up. All right, I'm gonna take a quick little break. I'll be right back. All right, 1050 algorithm, whatever that is. coming up in 1 minute. I got kind of a reversal bar right there on the 1 minute chart, but we're not quite, we're kind of in no man's land. So let's see what happens. So far we got a green 1 hour candle. So if we pull down to the green line and get an entry long, I might be interested. Might be interested. Since we kind of broke above these highs over here. If we get a little pullback here, we might run a little bit higher. So let's see what happens. Got to be careful, our stochastic is overbought. All right, well, it did come back down and touch the green line. Need to see a little more momentum up. I don't know. If it breaks a high here, I might jump in and give that a shot. Yeah, I think so. Got strong 5 minute closes on both ES and NQ. So this is the first bar in the, or the first 1 minute in that 5 minute candle. So getting a little pullback there makes sense. But we had 2 green candles, green 5 minute candles in a row. See if this kind of builds out a bull flag so that we can go long. Just don't want to get faked out. I want to just kind of wick up here and then rip straight back down. I'm gonna give it a try. We're going for it. Might look for a little push higher here too. I don't know. We get lucky. All right, come on. Give us another little push. Another little push. Don't pull back. No pulling back. No pull backsies. No pull backsies. Come on. This candle closes red. I'm just gonna bell, hopefully without too big of a loss. Because I'm more risk adverse. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Boy, it just faked us out, didn't it? That was a royal fake out right there. Man, that was harsh. That was rude. See, now we're setting up a divergence short on the stochastic. Let's see what we got here. We need to do some quick thinking. Potential short divergence, I don't know though. $20 points of risk. Okay. I'm gonna go off the divergence on this and see if we get a pullback here. Yeah, $230. Yeah, that's well, that would take me down to about 0 for this. Yeah. Come on. Bounce down. There we go. No, no. All right, I'm gonna move my stop here because if come on, push, push, push. down you go. You know you want to. Maybe you don't want to. Yeah, it may not want to. Yeah, a little wick above the prior candle with some kind of reaction there, so I don't know if that's gonna be enough to send it lower. Stop's probably too tight. I think if we push up from here, it's just gonna kind of rock it up. We're holding that green line, which I don't like. Yeah. Man, no love. All right, so that divergence failed. Although it wasn't as nice as it should have been. A nicer divergence again is if that lower high comes below that 20% level, and it didn't, so kind of oh, and now it comes down. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Jeez. I'm gonna get back $700 today, or in this session. That's ridiculous. Guess I should just finish green here with $100. It's better than nothing, right? Just more indecision. More indecision. So it did pull back down, but it didn't really go anywhere. So I don't know. We'll see. See, so this is interesting. So the difference is pretty slight, but if you look at, you have this high, you have this candle here, which formed a little bit of a peak on the stochastic, kind of right here, above that 20% line. This one, this candle went higher than this candle. Okay, and its peak was, I mean, kind of right at that 20% level. I mean, this is maybe splitting hairs a little bit, but that is better than this one, which had a peak up here and then this peak here, still above the 20%. So a short here would have probably made more sense, although looks like it's still failing. No, it still kind of looks like it wants to push up. We have 50 seconds left on this 5-minute candle and the 15-minute candle, by the way. A little bit of consolidation happening right here as those candles close up. Green candle, or no, I'm sorry, a 60-minute candle. That hourly candle's closing. I mean, the 15-minute candle is too. All green. But these last 5 minutes here have been just sideways consolidation, so longer it sits here, the more likely it is it pops one way or the other. And right now I would say we're holding above the green and blue line, that 9 and 21 EMA, so my bias would be slightly long at this point. We may have put in a low for the day here in this 10 o'clock hour, which would make sense, and then we'll see what happens from here. Anyway, that's where I'm going to call it. So I'll have to total up the session total for the day. Pretty disappointing day, honestly, after being up $800 and then giving it back. And honestly, if I went back and I looked at this, I mean, it's clear where the issues are, right? The win, what was the win? We had an awesome win off of that breakout trade. We had a nice scalp wait, being patient, waiting for this pullback here. And then I proceeded to just give it all back, trying to take a breakout trade here, which I got stopped out of early and would have worked. Took a green line trade here. It was break even because I was looking for a break of the low, but I trailed my stop. So that one was, you know, not too bad. Tried again, failed. Breakout here, break even. So really it wasn't horrible, right? I think I really managed it okay. The lesson I think in the day here is that I shouldn't just jump into things. I have to be patient and wait for the setup, because the fells were really where I wasn't willing to keep my stop loss where it needed to be. And the reason I wasn't able to do that is because I wasn't as confident in the trade, and so I was trailing my stop too tight. And ultimately that cost money, and that is what it is. So lessons from this session. So up $600 or so on the day. I'll total it up and it'll be in the thumbnail, but that's the day today. So we'll be back tomorrow. I think tomorrow, I guess, is day 6 on Wednesday. And